This is the death camp at Helmo nad Ner. Still a peaceful, quiet village. 3 years ago a motorway was built here, and that's now directly in front of us. In this former country house, which was blown up by the Nazis in April 1943, 200,000 people or thereabouts passed through. According to the court records in Germany, it took 152,000 people having been murdered here is the absolute minimum number. People entered this building at the far side, undressed, and roughly where between the tree and the stones are today, at this point they entered a gas van. The doors were shut behind. Either the van stood here at this place or went over there to the where today is grass, stood there 10-15 minutes maybe, gassed the people, then took the bodies to the forest 4 kilometers away from here. Of around 160,000 people in the Łódź ghetto, probably somewhere the order of 80 to 100,000 were brought here and murdered. Of almost all the villages in this area, the people were brought here and murdered. Now, we are to believe Holocaust deniers who were claiming that the people were not murdered, but somehow they ended up in Israel or the United States. There should be, somewhere down there, a tunnel leading to Israel, the United States, Argentina and other places. Strangely enough, this tunnel doesn't seem to be there anywhere. No sign of any tunnel whatsoever, unless they've covered it up, of course. Sign of a church, the sign of a motorway, but no sign of any tunnel. Very strange. So what the Holocaust deniers are saying? Are they saying that the people weren't brought here? Well, we have transport lists for that. We have eyewitnesses. We have the accounts of the perpetrators themselves. Are they saying something else? Maybe they're saying there were never any Jews here. Well, that may be their argument. Or maybe they're just arguing that Poland doesn't exist. Or are they arguing that this film doesn't exist? The fact of the matter is that the idiotic arguments of these people must have some other reason behind it. And it's to find out what the reason is for denial in the first place, that we will perhaps get to the reason why some 200,000 people or thereabouts ended up being murdered on this spot here and in front of that church there between 1941 and 1943, and once again in the summer of 1944.